Welcome to the semi-finals of the Simulation Soccer League Cup. I'm Sock, joined here by Valpix. For the first time, we've seen a Division 2 team make the semi-finals, And we also have a big matchup on the other side with Catalunya and Athênai facing off against each other. Valpix, why don't you give us a more in-depth preview of the match coming up?
Yeah, you have the Cinderella D2 in London versus Hollywood, who is currently running away with the league proper, but anything can happen in the cup. That's why they call it the magic of the cup.
Of course, Inter London are currently the top team in Division 2 right now, though they have seen that lead slim over recent weeks. They will still try and put up a good showing here. Of course, Hollywood built out with so many incredible veterans. Liang Kwai, Mika Rashford, and Ricky Bobby all come to mind, while on the side of Inter London, their target man has pretty much been K. Clement throughout the tournament. And we'll probably look to him further to try and score more in these matches. Val, is there anyone else that you'd like to touch on and spotlight?
Obviously, another key for London, especially when you're going up against a team with the firepower that Hollywood has, is Tony Yeboah, the goalkeeper. As we take a look at Hollywood coming out in the 4-2-4, Putinesca is going to be that safety blanket in front of their back four. Inter London with their typical 4-2-3-1, asymmetrical. And for the paths these two teams took, London didn't play in the first round. Their quarterfinals were a 4-2 aggregate win over Sydney. On the other side, Hollywood absolutely smoked both Kapstadt and Buenos Aires. 6-2 on aggregate against Kapstadt and 7-3 over Buenos Aires to get here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they can continue that domination over the D2 sides as an early attack is cleared away, though not by much, as Tiki Taka tries a shot, but was taken away by Donnarumma. Quickly out to an early attack there, Hollywood. And I feel like that's kind of been the key for them, is just, trying to get out to those early leads and just pushing the advantage throughout the match.
Yep, they're one of the best They're the best offensive team in the league, I do believe.
Yeah, not just being in the league, but also I believe in the cup as well. As here we have a corner kick to defend. Gerard to take it. Whipped inside, but headed away there by Roma. Gerard again scraps up the pieces. Finds back Jarro. They look to play it through again, but that time Roma shuts off the attack. Also, one person I would like to point out, target man, well, not really necessarily a target man, but someone that could be spotlighted here is Jerry Svici, who came in with this season having 0 goal contributions, but nabbed a goal and 2 assists in that huge cup set they had in the quarterfinals. But here's Bobby. Bobby with an early attack and is through on goal and scores. Just found the angle past Yeboah and tucks it into the net.
Yeah, you can't be giving Ricky Bobby that much space. As we see Hollywood building up. Rashford, great ball, but Bobby's just way too open. And then Yeboah comes off his line. Not decisive enough. And Bobby just slips it through. He can finish it from anywhere and any angle.
Yep, a huge one for him. He'll be very happy with that one. Especially getting this opened up early on with that 1-0. A goal to make it 1-0 rather. Here's Papasophopoulos. The London maybe trying to mount their first attack, but it's quickly quashed as here's Liang Kwai. Spotlighted him earlier. He's going to be marked up against Letitia and gets by him well. Deep cross in, and Hunter Jones's header is over the bar.
What a move by Liang Kwai, the former London player. Nearly punishing his old team there.
As here's another corner, but Gerard barely able to keep that in after the clearance, and eventually knocked behind there by Scud Muffin.
Sometimes you just got to get that ball out of dodge as quickly as you can.
Yeah, it's allowing to reset though, and that time Yeboah will pick it off and Pickford it down to the ground.
Yeah, Hollywood are just pouring on the pressure early on. London's just got to weather the storm. Try and keep it close.
Now already a little bit of ill discipline showing through as well, as Van der Floor has received a yellow card, as has, I don't know quite who it was, but it was a second yellow card issued. I'll get back to you on that one. Here's Jones, marked closely there by Muffin. Goes back to Possible. I've put a Nesca. Over to Taka. Now Jones will try and find Miko Rashford. Clear, and Rashford puts it through. It's now 2-0. Miko Rashford on the end of another long through ball. And Bob dives in a lot. Couldn't get back for it. And the Hollywood team able to double their lead.
Yeah, Hollywood, they like to play direct. They don't need that midfield. What a run this is by Rashford. Sneaking in behind, dives in a lot. Yeboah can't do anything about it. 2-0 Hollywood. It could be more.
I mean, this is kind of what we expected coming into this. You know, Hollywood, the highest octane offense in the league, just decided to put on the afterburners there through Miko Rashford. As here's another opportunity here. Tim Possible finds Ricky Bobby on the other end, but that time Yeboah was there for it. And he's able to tip it behind.
Huge save by Yeboah. Keeping the team in it.
Just able to break free again, though, and that's something to watch out for. Can dives on a lot. Just mark Bobby well enough. Here's a free kick for Rashford. Blocked in the wall by Letitia. Rashford will whip it in now for tiki-taka and was called offside. A nice little offside trap there, perhaps, just setting him back. But that will take us to the half. 2-0 up at the break. And really, it's been downhill running thus far for Hollywood. Into London, haven't been able to manage a shot on target.
Yeah, Hollywood have been all over in this first half. They very much deserve their lead. We'll see if London has a response in the second half. I feel like if they can get a goal and keep it at 2-1, you might have a shot going home. Right now, it's just weather the storm and don't get killed.
Yeah, I mean, easier said than done, of course. We've seen Hollywood. They had 7 shots on target in that first half. And 7 corners to boot as well. That's going to be very difficult for Yeboah. You know, he's been decent save percentage-wise, saving more than 70% of the opportunities at the very least.
Yeah.
Here of a pitch in Los Angeles, it's going to be very difficult for London to come back as a whole. You know, sure, you can take it back to Boris Johnson's Party Dome and try and make it close, but again, it's still going to be difficult to try and stop this offense for another 135 minutes that you have to face them.
Yeah, no one said it would ever be easy for London. They obviously came in as the underdogs, and Hollywood have lived up to the favorites tag so far. And we'll see if we get some substitutions here at halftime.
Yeah, of course. Only one player on the bench for Hollywood, which I believe is Alessio Calvatore for this match. And for Inter London, they do have a couple of backups. Of course, they do have Hannah Solari, who isn't often seen and might just not be. It will be one change. It's Walter Pinkman. We have a substitution on for Scud Muffin. Looks like
Inter trying to get some fresh legs out wide.
And there's Kate Clement's opportunity right over the top of the bar. Probably could have just put that one a little lower. Perhaps tried to chip Scott Sterling, but no avail. So that first real opportunity there that we see for Inter London. And we'll try and play from the back.
Yeah, sign of life for London there. They got the ball to Clements. I mean, obviously didn't finish it, but you expect that you give him service, he'll do something with it.
Yeah, hopefully at some point he will be able to convert 4 into London. Bias notwithstanding. Here's Tim Possible, and his shot goes wide. A nice one there, but just tucked it too far to Yeboah's left. Here's his clearance out. Again, they just seem to be looking to play ground level here. I think they just might get beaten in the air. Stante Yure will find Letitia. Does decide to go over the top this time. Over to Jerry. And Millar try to find Pinkman on a run, but ends up being intercepted by Tim Possible and dives in a lot. Has been beaten by Bobby again, but Yeboah bails them out. Just got the leg to it and pushed it over the goal line.
Once again, Hollywood trying to get it down the field quickly. Tony Yeboah says not today.
He has needed to be on top of his game, and even then, it's not quite been enough for them. Now they'll look to swap ends here. Well, inside pass here for tiki-taka. Looked for Hunter Jones, but just played it out a bit too slow, perhaps. Yeboah were able to rush out and scoop things up. Eventually thrown out. They have to look right flank again. That's where they've looked for the most part. That time cut down by Liang Kwai on a pass back. Here's Podoneska ahead of forward. Tiki-taka might have some running room. Goes to Hunter Jones instead, and that's a penalty. Papastafopoulos brought him down. It looks like we might have a card here. Yep, Papastafopoulos is shown a yellow card, and it'll be Tiki-taka to take one from the spot.
Yeah, it came from that second ball that London couldn't get to. Saved!
But it's saved! A big save from Yeboah. Still goes behind for a corner, so not out of danger quite yet, but a penalty save there for Yeboah, and Tiki-taka couldn't convert it. Here's a shot from Spakjaro on the head, but Yeboah got out there to narrow the angle, and no chance given to them.
What a save by Tony Yeboah.
Save does mean. Save does mean they keep it at 2 for now, and probably will consider themselves a bit lucky there. It's
Whoa!
Quiet. Oh, Yeboah, he tried to fist it clear, thinking Taka was going to be one-on-one, couldn't do it, and it fell for Ricky Bobby. A huge cartwheel from him as well, maybe perhaps taking the mickey there. Out of K. Clements, but Yeboah just gambled and lost on that occasion.
Yeah, when you're that far off your line, you either have to catch the ball or, you need to get your hands to it and get it full commit to the punch. That looked like he kind of flapped at it a little bit and didn't see Ricky Bobby right there. And it's so unfortunate for Yeboah, who's been so good in this match.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely did try one there, though. He was kind of just at odds with whatever he had to do. Here's Clements a try. That's the first save there for Scott Sterling, but his had to make. Finally able to be put into action at least, so at least they can know they can test him. It's possible now with Taka. Working it back. Now Ricky Bobby, another chance here, but that's tipped away by Yeboah on that occasion.
Yep, again, Hollywood going direct, trying to feed the beast.
Yep, at that time it's Charo off the bar. Just might have touched it there, but still a goal kick, and Hollywood only maintain a 3-goal lead for now. Still a very solid lead nonetheless, but I feel like they could have made it 4 or 5 with some of the opportunities that they've had.
Yeah, and if London can get one going home, here's a chance maybe.
Yeah, they might have a chance though. Clements that time is put it on target. He was very well clear of the defense. Costanza and Jarrow nowhere to be seen. And there's a huge consolation goal perhaps going into the second leg as Van der Floor just swept up the back of a tackle, and Clements was a good 5-6 yards clear of everyone else and was put onside by the right side defenders of Possible and Jarrow, and just was able to run it through.
Can't leave K. Clements that wide open, and potentially we might have an interesting second leg with that away goal.
No, it just weren't pressing up to him on that occasion, and does create some spice going into this, especially given that it is an away goal. If Hollywood are shut out and into London to get a 2-0 win at home, which, I mean, big dreams there, but, aspirations at one point, that would mean into London would go through on away goals. Of course, 1-3 goes back the other way to extra time, and anything more than that with that 2-goal into London margin, into London would be bowing out, and the best offense in the league would continue on their run to the cup final. As
good ball.
Yeah, they might be looking for a fourth here. Here's Ricky Bobby back inside. Just didn't have an angle. Yang Kwai shot. It's got a bit too much of the inside of it.
Gotta bury that. Gotta bury that with that much space.
But it looks like now that might be Hollywood deciding to say, all right, let's give it up for now, but into London definitely won't. Diore, back over to Millar, try to find Pinkman, but cleared away well by Spakjaro. Probably only a final few seconds left here, and that will do it. Hollywood taking a 3-1 victory. Everyone really on form for them. They probably could have had more out of that match, but have to go back only with a 2-goal lead, heading over to London.
Yeah, and a lot of that was, Tony Yeboah was sensational for most of that match, and especially with the penalty save. London, obviously they got outplayed. Obviously they're facing a deficit, but they get an away goal. They have a puncher's chance. It's an outside chance, but it's there. But obviously, they're going to have to be much, much better in the second leg. That Hollywood team just kills you with the balls over the top, and we see that in basically all the statistics, the shots, the XG, clear-cut chances, and you can't beat yourself like, conceding that penalty, which, of course, Tony Yeboah came up big. But overall, Hollywood did a professional job, and they took care of business at home.
Yeah, one thing also worth mentioning is Inter London only able to complete 9.09% of their crosses, 3 of 33. That would be something they'll need to vastly improve on, I think, going into the next tie, where they head to Boris Johnson's Party Dome. But we pivot from there to go on to perhaps one of the smaller rivalries, but still a rivalry nonetheless. Catalunya taking on Athênai in the second of the semi-finals.
Yeah, these two teams barely got out of their quarterfinals. Catalunya did so on penalties against Cairo, that instant classic 5-2 both legs, and then it went to penalties. Catalunya ends up prevailing. Athênai got through on away goals over Tokyo. The aggregate was 4-4, but Athênai got a goal on the road. Tokyo didn't. That was that. Both teams ran over their D2 opponents the first round fairly easily. So this should be a pretty interesting matchup for two teams that, Catalunya is mathematically out of the title fight. Athênai is basically all but eliminated. So this is a chance to try and snag a trophy from Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get to snatch an award from Hollywood, you have to think it'll be great for them. But, Hollywood, they want to try and do the double, but flip side, they still got to try and play that other leg.
Yep.
But one thing that I will look forward to here is Catalunya here with this 4-1-4-1. Dogwood Maple at the front has been an absolute strike force, and we can't forget about Alexandra Gunnarsson at keeper as well. On the side of Athênai, they have the two at the front, Jeffrey Oliver and Owen 44, and of course for centre backs, Henrik Lind, Darren Lockyer, plus keeper Yannick Anderson. It's really just a matchup of front and back here, in my opinion.
Yeah, and with Athênai, don't rule out Nico Fischer. Just had a brace for them against Cairo City.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of scoring options wherever you look, honestly. Even if they don't look to their front men, you could still have Mojo Rising or JJ Okocha scoring. Of course, Okocha did score that crucial 7th goal. As here's an opportunity for Rising. Another shot, McFlopface. Anderson scoops it up, and in the first 30 seconds, Catalunya already applying immense pressure, and it's not stopping yet here. Here's Mojo Rising here against Gin Tonic. Tries to wheel his way around for Budget Busquets, but he's sent that for about row H.
Yeah, Catalunya have not wasted time going on the offensive. This is a counterpunch from Athênai.
First chance here for Athênai.
Ooh.
Crossed in a bit too close to the goal line, and Gunnarsson just blocked it. Back to Jakob Julius, and here's Laverne, and it's tapped in off the head of Laverne for Owen 44. Shoots an arrow up, and Athênai, within the first 5 minutes of the match, have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, so it's going to be one of those games where everyone's going all offensive. Joker puts in the cross. What a flick-on header that is from Jeffrey Levert, and Owen 44 is not missing from there. He just is not. And that's a critical away goal for Athênai. Less than 6 minutes into this one, and that takes the crowd out of the game, and really, Catalunya has just been socked in the jaw. How do they respond?
I mean, they're looking to respond here already. Trying to find McFlopface inside for Vince, but that header easily snaffled by Anderson. Was worth noting there was a bit of a poor clearance there from Gunnarsson, and also that I'm pretty sure Levert still would have scored that even with a flick-on header. Just, Owen 44 was basically just poaching right at the back there and tapped it in from about 2 yards out.
Doesn't matter who scores, it just matters that it goes in.
Yeah. I mean, it was also just to make sure that perhaps Jakob Juliusson didn't try some miracle clearance off the line, perhaps. Already did have Gunnarsson beaten at least. Gintonic tried to head it through to Levert, but ends up with Okamoto. Goes to Maple, tries to send Okocha through. A lot of players are grouping up here for Catalunya, and they find one to score. It's Vins, and they equalize with only 15 minutes gone. It's already one apiece.
Yep, Catalunya just killing them with movement and numbers. What a ball from Maple to Akocha. Akocha pulls Joker out wide, and there's no shortage of options in the middle. Vins is the one that says, thank you very much, I will just nod this home. 1-1.
Yeah, just beat out Henrik Lindevier there as well. Very tough one to beat, of course. Usually so confident with the head, but that time Vins gets forward and puts one through for them. And here's Joker who's sending that initial cross, already looking for another one, but that time Järvinen boosts it clear. And it's run forward here by McFlopface. Lot of running room here. Now another cross in. Try to find Maple. That one headed away though by Lockyer. And eventually worked back to Anderson, who finds Labovic on the right flank. And now he's going to try a run down the same end. Labovic for 44, but 44 couldn't quite get the head to it. Sent it over the top.
Yannick Anderson, very good keeper with his feet. He can start counterattacks by himself. We saw that right there. Found Labovic wide open, and it set up a chance.
Yeah, here's Akocha now, just able to get by a lander now an opening, but the opening just basically guided itself right to Anderson.
What a move there by Akocha to blow by Lind. Probably deserved a better shot than that.
Just needed to open himself up a bit more perhaps, but nonetheless, Catalunya not able to take the lead here at home, at least not just yet. There's Anderson playing out of his box a bit to make sure they have that back pass option. Here's Labovic now trying to find Fischer for over 44. Can he get the double? No, tipped wide by Gunnarsson, but
flag was up anyway.
Ball back for offside anyway.
Yeah, no absence of excitement in this one so far.
Yeah, though everything's just kind of been back and forth. The quality of the chances thus far probably has been with Athênai. That one Järvinen able to get by Labovic. Trying to get by Gin Tonic. Nice through ball here for McFlopface, but Ramirez did well. McFlopface wanted a penalty, didn't get one at all. That looked very clean from up here, even though we didn't actually have eyes on the ball. Here's Lever being sent through by Ramirez and just put it over the top. Really try to send that one, but that goes to Roach as well. Lever had a wide open opportunity. Probably could have held it up a bit more, perhaps.
Yeah, that was a sensational ball in for Ramirez after the really risky but effective tackle in the box. But Levert just skies it. And that will get us to halftime. It's been pretty dang even so far here in Barcelona. You take a look at the numbers. The XG does favor Athênai a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, both teams have had looks. Both teams have had chances. And second half of this one should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I did mention it a bit earlier that I feel like Athênai have had the more quality chances. They've had the ball more upfield. That they have given away the more free kicks. And aside from that, it just feels like it's been a little bit cleaner perhaps on the side of Catalunya in terms of execution. Even with a long-range shot by Budget Busquets that went over the top, Lever had a very similar opportunity, probably with more space available, and did pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah, we'll see if there are some subs at halftime.
Yeah, again, have unfortunately been looking through now and seeing that the bench here is probably not going to be used. Of course, we do have subs on the side of Catalunya. They've brought on Jackson Clark and Awesome McPossum, but they have elected not to make any changes. The reason for this is that their only backup is Larry Ligmanen, who perhaps may be seen as much lower quality than bringing him on for someone like Sidney Ramirez or Cal Labovic.
Yeah, and Jackson Clark.
And a few others here.
Jackson Clark did score in Catalunya's last league game, so perhaps trying to use the fresh legs and the hot hand.
Yeah, I mean, having Clark and McPossum on the bench really gives you a lot of opportunity. At that time, Vins gets in way of a shot from Didi Joker.
Vital block there from Vincent because Joker had a wide open look.
Yeah. Probably would have found the glove of Gunnarsson anyway, but still, good block for him. Is so 1.5 minutes gone for rain starting to come down here in Spain, falling mainly by the plane. Lockyer, Tonic, intercepted there by McPossum. Busquets tries to find Clark. Can the substitute whip something in here? Just goes ground ball to Rising. Busquets does find McPossum, but Anderson did well to project where the shot was going pretty much and got his body in the way.
Not a bad spot to shoot from. I just think he probably could have taken another touch to get a little bit more on that.
Yeah, even though I do think that he probably just read the shot well enough. Here's a chance, and it's in. Was it tap time? It was. Vince has put it in his own net to try and stop Fisher, but it still couldn't get it clear.
Sometimes all it takes is that one bounce, and Athênai, you make your own luck. Oh, that's just unfortunate for Vince, who was trying to prevent that from getting to Fisher. Unfortunately, couldn't prevent it from going in his own net.
Yeah, just got by Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson did as well as they could to try and stop that one, but at the end of the day, just, sometimes it just depends on how it deflects in, and don't ask how, they ask how many, and Athênai now have 2. But the Catalunya's 1, which is huge, especially considering they are away from home. The Catalunya looking to equalize now. About 19 minutes left in regulation. Good tackle by Sherwood, but will force a throw.
Yeah, you don't want to be losing your home game if you want to move on. You got to defend your home turf. Especially with away goals being so important.
Yep. Catalunya Industrial needs defending right now, and Catalunya needs to find another way through here. Looks like a fourth official has 2 minutes up on the board, so about 3 minutes left here. The Catalunya to mount something, and it looked like Dogwood Maple nearly did, but he's just put it into the side of the net.
Yeah, it was a good ball in from Järvinen, but the finishing has not been there for Catalunya.
Mentioned in the first half that perhaps they just have a cleaner execution, but in the second half they've had less of it. But here's Clark. He just took one touch too many, and Anderson just waited for it and scooped it up all his own. There's the official signal. 2 minutes in here. Lockyer beaten by Maple, and Maple chips him, and Catalunya in stoppage time have equalised, and it is now 2 apiece. A huge get for them, for Dogwood Maple to chip over the top. And now Catalunya are equal.
Yeah, Vince gets to the second ball. Lockyer, I think, accidentally played Maple onside there with a mistouch. And then Maple comes in and buries it. 2-2. What a finish to this one. We might still have some more.
Yeah, it's perhaps last chance here. Athênai just looking to perhaps go ahead here. But no, Shoka ran it too deep. That will probably see us to the end there. And it does. Catalunya and Athênai 2-2 at Catalunya Industria. That is such a huge change in the momentum of this, aggregate tie. That stoppage time equalizer could prove a huge difference when they head over to Greece.
Yeah, I mean, this game was about as even as you could get, but I think overall Athênai is probably going to be happier with this draw, because it means it's like you're going home, you've got the tie in the first leg. Now you just need to take care of business at home. Just don't turn it into a track meet too much. Don't, especially when you just need a tie. But very even game that that finish has made things a lot more interesting.
Absolutely. That could very well change the outcome when they head over to Athênai. For Catalunya, they at least didn't go down. They aren't going to have to look to play from behind here. They can at least know that if they do get a win against Athênai, they will be able to move on.
Yep, it's simple.
That is something that
it's winning in.
Yeah. And if they draw, of course, 2-2, we go to extra time, 1-0 or 0-0, Athênai goes through, 3-0 or higher, Catalunya goes through.
Yeah.
That's basically the math we have.
Yeah, and it kind of opens things up to potentially a track meet of a second leg, because Catalunya is going to need, because, both teams can guarantee their way through with a win, Catalunya needs to win. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in that second leg. And, of course, the conclusion to Hollywood versus London. Does Cinderella have one last dance in her?
Yeah, well, I think that about covers everything that has gone on tonight. We do have the second leg, which will be airing later on here on the Simulation Soccer League. Of course, we do have the final few match days of the league coming up, where perhaps some title races might take some changes, and one more twist in the tail. Well, that about does it here for us for the Simulation Soccer League and Valpix. I've been Sock. We shall see you next time.